Hi there. We're live today, and for the first time ever, also live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So I'm in a different setting than usual. I came up to Oklahoma for my niece's wedding shower, and today also happens to be my birthday. Let's see which way does the arrow go? Right there. See that birthday cake? Happy birthday to me, but I'm not going to tell you how many. Let's see. I hope you can hear me all right. Yeah. Okay. I'm trying not to be too loud because I have kind of a roommate here where I'm staying and I don't want to disturb her. Oh, it's been a fun and pleasant weekend, and I'll be heading back home today after the live. As soon as we get wrapped up, I'll get packed up and get the car loaded and head back to Fort Worth. So, all righty. With that, let me tell you, hi there, and welcome to this day in history for February 26th. February 26th is the 57th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 308 days remaining to the end of the year, 309 in leap years. Now, there's something here that says click here when live for stream info. Okay. Yes, I want to see that. Oh, okay. Well, it's not giving it to me in a separate window like it usually does for YouTube. So, new experience. As you can see, I've been practicing with my streaming software, so I'm able to put pictures and credits in there. What does my watch think? Oh, my watch says, it looks like you're awake. Yes, I am. All right, let's see here. Let me close that up again. Today's word is bellwether. Bellwether is a noun, and I've seen it most often to mean an indicator of trends, but it can also mean one that takes the lead or initiative. Interestingly, it might sound like this word has something to do with the weather, but no. Bellwether goes back to at least as far back as sheep herders in the 1400s. Sheep are notorious followers, but it seems that they do need something to follow, so they would put a bell around the neck of a wether, which is a neutered male sheep, and put him at the front of the herd. The flock would then follow him everywhere. That leader, the wether, with the bell around his neck, was the bellwether, the first of many, an indication of many more to come. The bellwether. Some examples of how you might see the word bellwether out in the wild. The designer's bold choices were a bellwether for the following season's fashion trends, or the species decline could be the bellwether for the ecological health of the area, or stock market activity is seen as a bellwether of investor sentiment. First known use of the word bellwether is in the 1400s. Bellwether. Now, often when Mr. Bowers and I are reading or watching videos or even simply talking with other people, we'll come across a word that piques our interest. And one of us will say, oh, that's a good one for word of the day. And if I can grab my little calendar book and jot it down, we'll talk about it. So remember, if you have a word you'd like to see in this Word of the Day segment, drop it in the comments and we'll take a look at it. You may have heard the phrase Carpe Diem. This is a Latin phrase that literally means pluck the day. Although we typically translate it to mean seize the day, the phrase itself has been around for hundreds of years, but we really begin to see it in English usage in the 1800s. The poet Robert Frost wrote a poem called Carpe Diem in 1938, in which age wishes upon a couple of children that they be happy. Yes, be happy, 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 and seize the day of pleasure. And so it is that the dictionary definition for Carpe Diem as the enjoyment of the pleasures of the moment without concern for the future. I prefer to think of it more in terms of being present in the moment, right here, right now. There's a web page about Carpe Diem Day and the events that inspired folks to give it its own day, and even some activities. And of course, I have included a link to that page in the description. Carpe Diem. And with that, the Grand Canyon, located in northwestern Arizona. Let's see, I think we have a location map here. Located in northwestern Arizona, became an official national monument in 1908 upon the declaration of President Theodore Roosevelt. We probably talked about that back in January when that happened. The Grand Canyon was then declared a national park on February 26, 1919. Quite an amazing place to visit, and if you're planning to go, they do have a website that gives lots of different information, like general information and fees and whatnot. I have included a link to the website in the description. The Grand Canyon also enjoys the protection of being a UNESCO World Heritage Site. I guess the Grand Canyon's having a sort of a birthday too today, isn't it? Now, before we get on with today's song, I'll remind you that if you're curious as to whatever else we might have talked about for February 26th, I'll leave a link to one of those episodes for you. I grew up in Oklahoma, and whenever I come back, if I have the time, I like to visit one of the eateries that hold pleasant memories for me. It keeps popping a note up there. We'll make that stop. Okay. Eateries that hold pleasant memories for me. I'll just name 3 of those right now. That would be Cattleman's Cafe over in the Stockyards, Johnny's Charcoal Broiler, and Del Rancho, home of the Steak Sandwich Supreme. This time it was Del Rancho. The Steak Sandwich Supreme is a cube steak that's been breaded and deep fried, what they call a chicken fried steak. And it comes on a huge hamburger bun with lettuce, tomato, and mayonnaise. Now, if I look at the menu when I go to Del Rancho, I'll be torn between the steak sandwich and their chuck burger, but this time I wanted that chicken fried steak for sure. They also offer the chicken fried steak as a dinner, and that comes with your choice of 2 sides. So we went with the steak dinner, as they call it, my son and I. As we were sitting there, I heard a lovely song playing, one that I remember from my youth. I remember thinking, Del Rancho definitely has their finger on the pulse of their customer base with that music. And so that song is today's song, and it's I'll Never Find Another You by the Seekers. It feels like I might have talked about one of the Seekers' songs before for Song of the Day, but I can't remember which one that might have been or when. But the Seekers were a folk-influenced pop group out of Melbourne, Australia. They got together in the early 1960s and were quite popular in the 60s. The Seekers were the first Australian pop group to hit the charts outside of Australia and had several top 10 hits. By the way, after the original grouping that was the Seekers sort of wound down and dissipated, one of the original members formed a new group he called the New Seekers, and they recorded the 1971 hit, I'd Like to Teach the World to Sing. But today we're talking about their 1964 hit, I'll Never Find Another You. Written by Tom Springfield, I'll Never Find Another You by the Seekers reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Australian and UK charts. I'll Never Find Another You has also been covered by country singer Sonny James, and that version did very well in the country charts as well. I'll Never Find Another You by the Seekers. Lovely song. Link in the description. All righty. That's it for this one, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to get the car all packed up and head home. Take care, and I'll see you next time. You can check out the comments for other links. There are dogs out here, and Ripley wants to go bark at them. Shh. I'll let her out in a minute. She's done pretty well so far. Whisper, whisper. Dad taught her to whisper. Sorry about that. All right, now we're going to look for the thank you very much button.